Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We got ourselves a little educational tidbit, which is going to address a seemingly common question that I get during my Twitch stream. And so let's go ahead and get into exactly how to handle a situation that seems to be brought up and how we can navigate a little bit of weirdness. I think a lot of people have issues with situations in Dota that cause weirdness.
Banana slam jam.
So what's going to happen here is my safe lane Terrorblade, level 4, 5.5 minutes into the game, is going to get ganked. And he's against a pretty scary lane, Grimstroke plus Marcy.
Why are you running?
And so this is a lane where he doesn't necessarily want to return to it. So when you die as carry, there's this really awkward scenario where if you're in a lane where you're scared of just dying again, then you probably don't want to return to it. But if you're also a little bit too early to do anything, because you're only level 4, then you're in a weird spot. So on a hero like Terrorblade, who can jungle decently, if you have two other lanes, which are going quite poorly, that's probably your best option. Because what that means is you should probably jungle somewhere near your lane, bottom lane, and if Marcy leaves, in this case, the guy that's killing you, Marcy, or if they push it into your tower and you feel safe farming under there, you can return back to your lane. So you would jungle in a way that would allow you to return back to your lane if you ever feel safe, given the circumstances. But there's a better option if your other lanes are going well. So usually when you get ganked by 3 heroes, I'll tell you, spoiler alert, it's one of two things. Your offlaner is getting so owned that their 5 position doesn't need to help him anymore, to help the carry on the opponent team. So you're getting 3-man ganked, which means you're probably jungling from here. Like if you look top, you see your Necro is losing by 2 levels, and the enemy carries free farming, you're probably jungling, because there's not much you can do there. But in this case, your Necro's owning, and your 4 position is chasing their carry down. So this is one of the circumstances where the 5 position left, not because his lane was going so well, but because his lane was going so poorly that he tried to do something else. So whenever you die, you should quickly try to recognize which one of those circumstances that it is. And more notably, it's a 5-minute catapult wave still. Catapult, which means that you have an option to push towers right now. And it may seem a bit early, but a decent amount of carries have a little bit of tower damage that they can do at level 4 or 5, especially a hero like Terrorblade who has an ability built in. But you don't even have to be a Terrorblade in this case. You could be pretty much any hero that doesn't want to go jungle right now, which is a lot of carries at level 4. So the Terrorblade's going to make a really cool move that in the game felt really weird to me. But I've actually this happens a lot in competitive. I remember back in the day when I used to play competitive, this type of situation would happen. And you want to know what to do, not only as the carry, which we've already talked about, but what to also do as the offlaner. So first and foremost, guys, if your carry comes to your lane and you're an offlaner, let's not panic. You know, it's going to be a little weird. This guy in-game told me that he's coming to my lane. So he died, he respawns, and he says, hey, I'm coming top to push. And you know me as a Necro, free farming, I want to keep farming my lane, I want to take this tower myself, I want to get solo XP, but there's a level 4 carry in my lane. And I'll tell you, during the game, it felt really weird. And I assure you guys, as a carry, a lot of times in your games, your offlaner is probably going to be like, what the fuck? Fuck off. Get out of my lane. So that's why it's especially important if your offlaner's having a bad game that you don't do this, because you're probably griefing your offlaner if he's having a bad game and you're suddenly just sitting there as 2. I want you to ask yourself, if a person with higher farm priority comes into your lane, but you're stronger than them, what does that mean? Isn't that exactly the dynamic of a 5 position and a 1 position at the very start of the game? Most 5 positions are stronger than 1s, level 1, and the 1 has higher farm priority than they do. And the answer is yes. So whenever you have a core show up in your lane like this, as an offlaner especially, you need to think yourself as a support. Temporarily. I'm not saying you're demoted to support for the rest of the game. You're still strong. And the reason why I mention this is a lot of offlaners, I guarantee you, would instantly TB bottom. That would be their reaction. They're like, ah, shit, this carry's in my lane. I guess I'm out of here. And they would TB bottom. But the thing is, a lot of times when your carry comes to your lane like this, there's a reason why he left his lane in the first place. You know, there were just 3 enemy heroes bottom. It's a scary kill lane. They're not showing on the map. Marcy's almost level 6. Obviously, he's pretty low right now. But if I were to go here without very much information, I might just take my early lead and feed it to the opponent. And that's something we want to avoid. So as an offlaner, don't panic. You're a support for like a minute or two. Let the map play itself out a little bit. Get this tower with your carry. Maybe you're not going to get the tower. But what would a support do in this situation? If they have no other lane to go to, if they don't know what else to do, well, they would fix the lane equilibrium that's pushing into the tower, and they would farm a pull camp. So if you can farm a stack, feel free to stack it and only pull like half the wave like I'm going to do. If you are not strong enough to farm a stack, then just pull it into your creep wave right here. Don't stack it and farm it up. But notice here, I get rid of the range creep, and I'm going to farm up a stack. Just chilling for a little bit, looking at the map. And then eventually, the mid lane's going to open up for me after I've cleared that range creep. And that's what happens. So, a lot of situations in Dota that are super awkward are caused by one of your teammates dying. It could be you dying as the carry. And it's really important that you navigate these situations smoothly. What started was a carry death, and actually what ended was my Terrorblade freely farming top, as it's the safest part of the map since I had a really good lane, and then me eventually rotating to another lane that opened up. You know, if Void Spear wasn't bottom, I probably would have ended up TPing bottom, because now that I'm level 7, I feel a lot stronger, and I've almost got my first defensive item, which I didn't have yet, so I wasn't exactly ready to go do things. So yeah, hopefully this helped you guys a little bit. It's a situation you'll probably find yourselves in pretty commonly if you're a carry. Maybe like 1 out of 4 games, you'll die there in a pretty shitty spot. And it's something to consider. And as an offlaner, please don't panic. It's okay if somebody shows up in your lane. Take it slow, fix the lane, then go leave. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was even better when I made it the second time. See you guys.